Hello, good afternoon. Michael Wynn, Chief Digital Officer of Digital Ops, a division of RB Oppenheim Associates. It's Monday, guys. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a very nice weekend. This weekend, I went to a expo here in Tallahassee, Florida. It was the North Florida Home Show, and had a great chance to walk around and talk with lots of small businesses from the Tallahassee, Leon County, and sort of the Tri-County area. There were nearly 200 businesses that were there and showing off their products and services. And I had a really good time interviewing and talking with some businesses. And, as I thought about it when I left there, I made some notes about the different businesses and then I just kind of observed what happened next. And I think that that is part of the disconnect when businesses and companies do an expo that, they do all the right things, they check all the right boxes, they have the best swag, they have all the free stuff, they have a really great booth, best personalities, but they put all of their eggs in the what's happening at the expo event basket. And that, my friends, is where they lose, because there's a whole set of activities that happens post expo event for people who come up and visit your booth. Because here's the problem, right? And I noticed this as I walked around. There were people that came up, they were talking to the rep, they would talk for, whatever, 30 seconds or a minute. I talked to people for, like 5 to 7 minutes and, got them telling me about their stuff. And, like there was few had sign-up sheets, some people had business cards. But I think the problem is that, a lot of times when we go by there and set up as an expo person or company, we don't get any information from the client. We feel kind of awkward about that. And then, there's this whole kind of awkward situation of like, hey, let me get your info, here's mine. So some companies do a good job of creating a welcome environment where, they can provide value and that exchange is made. But many times, people walk in the expo booth and walk right back out again. And that's a problem. The other thing I saw is kind of the flip side where, you don't have enough people in the expo area for your company, and there's like more people than you can, really physically talk to in an engaging, meaningful conversation. If there's like a lot of people and there's a big crowd, you have great swag, people are just grabbing stuff, they're like freeloading. So, I mean, that's a problem. So it really sets up for this, a really poor lack of ability to follow up post-event, which really crushes your long-term ROI for doing it. So I mean, you're going to spend several $100s, maybe even $1,000 or more, depending on the size of the event and the size of attendees. I mean, you could spend 2 or 3 grand. And the problem is like you're putting all of your eggs in that basket. So, okay, guys, what can we do? Digital strategy, tactics. So here's 4 ideas for you to plan as part of your expo that you're going to set up 24 hours before you actually go to the event. And here's what we're going to do. Number 1, you're going to bring your geofencing with you. And you're going to get that set up 24 hours before the event. Because guys, when you do that, you understand that geofencing is the technology where you literally just drop a little cone, and it could be a half block cone. It could be a 200-foot cone where you drop a pin right in the middle of that event hall, and the geofencing ad platform draws a radius. And again, it can literally be on some platforms, like you can go around the curves of the building. It's amazing, the technology. But why would you do that? Well, guys, what that does is it uses the GPS in our mobile devices, that when we pass through this geofence, our devices are actually then cookied and accept this sort of following technology. And so on display ads or behavioral ads where you can do the geofencing, those display ads can be shown in apps. So if you've got like Angry Birds or crossword games, how you see the little ads down on the bottom when you're playing a game. So like you can have that. You can also have just websites that show up when the person is on their mobile device and they're going to that website. So you might go to ESPN.com, but not use the app, but use your web browser on your phone. So the display ads can be shown that way. Number two, a lot of people don't realize this about Facebook, that Facebook actually has sort of a geofencing type strategy as well, where you can at that same time place that pin, activate it the morning of. Obviously, if you're going to get up there really early, you've got to make sure you give enough lag time for Facebook to approve your ad, and then for it to be shown to those people who are coming in that little cone, that little circle radius of the event. So guys, you see what's happening now, right? So it's not just about them coming to your expo event, it's them coming into your geofence for that expo. And both of these types of platforms, obviously with Facebook, you can run that ad for the next 2 weeks, the next 4 days, however much money you want to leverage against that audience, but that's the audience that you want, and you want to show them your message, your value proposition, why they should consider you over your competitor. Now, this is really important. When you set your ad up, do not send them to the front page of your website. That is another huge mistake, guys. You can't do that. You have to, we talked about this, you have to contextualize the message. You need to have something like, hey, just saw you at the North Florida Home Show. Here's our special offer if you missed it. Download this free guide. Again, provide value in a contextual way that, oh yeah, I was there and now I'm seeing this. That makes total sense. You want to provide that, but in a mobile format, again, because the ads, the geofencing technology is all about the phone. So their experience when they click on your ad needs to match the device that they're on. So keep that in mind. It's huge. Now, when you do that and they click on the ad and they come to your site, if they don't take action, then you want to make sure you leverage we've talked about this again over and over. You have to have your retargeting set up, right? So that means they come, they visit, they leave your website, boom, they're going on to, whatever, CNN.com or MSN or whatever, the top 1,000 websites that are out there, and you're showing them display ads as well on that platform. But remember, sometimes people put display ads or retargeting ads. Again, they have this generalized campaign. This time, you want to create that retargeting campaign just for that landing page that you created for the expo. That way, the ad that they see, again, it's all contextual from their experience that they had at the expo with you and your brand. And you want to continue to build that frequency and relationship and value from that experience. So that's the way to do it, guys. So don't just think about setting up your booth. Think about setting up your geofence. Make sure you got your display ad campaign running. Make sure you got your Facebook ad running. Make sure your landing page is mobile optimized. And then lastly, make sure your retargeting ads are ready to go. Guys, those are my tips. And I'll tell you who did do it. One company out of 200, First Florida Commerce Credit Union. I started seeing ads like the minute I walked out of the building, started seeing them. So kudos to those guys, doing a great job marketing. They're my bank. I love them anyway. Guys, my name is Michael Wynn. I am the Chief Digital Officer of RB Oppenheim Associate. It is a pleasure. Thanks for checking out the video and podcast today, and we'll see you. I hope you have a great week.